This is a Rogue Media Network podcast. Hey there, welcome to King of the Hill. King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
And I am Rusty.
He is still Rusty, and he's still coming to us from a different dimension. Rusty, this is a That Ain't Right Friday, and what we generally do on these episodes is we talk about things that are adjacent to the King of the Hill universe, and today is no different. A couple things I've got, and then we'll just kind of keep it nice and short. And then on Monday we will start again with season 8, episode 1. So this one's a little more depressing, so I'm going to get it out of the way first. Every time there is an award show in Hollywood, there is an in memoriam section. Whether it be the Oscars, the Emmys, the Tonys, whatever, right? They do an in memoriam to talk about the people that were part of the industry that contributed. You'll even get like sound effects manager or something like that, right? And they'll talk about it, or they'll at least put them in a slideshow and show it to everybody. People were a little incensed that Jonathan Joss was left out of the in memoriam for the Emmys. And I think they have every right to be a little miffed about that. I don't care whether and it's really weird to me that Hollywood kept him out.
Well, Jonathan Joss too, especially, like they were kind of upset about a few others, and I don't really know the others' careers outside of Hulk Hogan. I don't really know Jerry Adler's career or what was the other lady's name? Danielle Spencer. Mm-hmm. I don't really know much about their careers or whatever, but I know that Jonathan Joss was a staple on television from the 90s. You know, he always played the same character, obviously, because that was something that we had discussed, when he was talking about his mental health and how he felt about the state of Hollywood in terms of Native American casting. And he'd been on TV for a long time, been on a lot of different TV shows, and he'd been on some of the most popular TV shows of their time. King of the Hill, obviously that's his bread and butter as far as fame goes. But then you have Parks and Recreation, which he had a massive role in. That was really, really good. His character was bigger than life in that particular, and he cherished that role because they put him in a suit and they let him not just be the Indian in a leather cut off vest. And he also was in the Tulsa King, which is his most recent. Which would probably be his most recent role, I would imagine, would be Tulsa King, which just released its 3rd season, and he played a guy on there called Badface. So just leaving him out of TV is weird, especially when he's been on Emmy award-winning shows. All the shows he's been on that I just named are all. I'm not sure if I think Tulsa King got an Emmy because it's been out for 3 years now, but I think they even if they did or didn't, it's still a critically acclaimed show.
Yeah, I just don't think it matters. I think that you were a big part of TV, and you should be included. I've seen some of those. Part of TV. That's what I'm saying. I've seen some of those in memoriam segments, and there are a lot of people in there I don't know. Jonathan Joss was one that I knew from 2 TV shows that I liked very much. It makes no sense to me that they did that, and a lot of fans are calling it cruel, which it's funny that Jonathan Joss lived an alternative lifestyle and had some shady things in his past. But boy, if that's not Hollywood to a T, I don't know what is.
And honestly, there's a lot worse in Hollywood. Regardless of the circumstances of his life or whatever it may be, what I got was a truly passionate human being that was severely misunderstood most of his career. And yes, had a problem with substance abuse. Who doesn't? Sure. Who hasn't?
Sure.
Kind of thing, and his
especially these days.
his was just larger than life. Like
Yeah.
his just was bigger than he could be, kind of thing. So
Let me tell you when it ticked me off. It was the other night. My mother was in the hospital. She had a procedure, and we had to sit there and watch the stupid hospital TV with my dad, right? With no
mhm.
sound. Number one, by the way, and Dancing with the Stars was on, and there is Alec Baldwin's wife dancing with these other mid-level whoever's, and Andy Richter, by the way, was dancing, which is
Oh,
weird.
Andy Richter.
But yeah, they go out to the audience, and there's Alec Baldwin just cheering, and he's happy, and he's sitting with all his kids, and you wouldn't know that he called his daughter a pig one time and got drunk and yelled at her on voice memos. Then he fatally shot somebody during a movie. This guy has had all kinds of
Oh yeah.
things happen, but he keeps getting welcomed back into Hollywood by
Oh,
these.
Kevin. Well, I think actually Kevin Spacey ended up getting cleared of all wrongdoing, which is kind of sad because they
You
dragged him
don't
through the
see
mud.
him. Yeah.
But you don't see him
No.
anywhere, even though. And then, like, honestly, if you look at Pee Wee Herman and Paul
Yep.
Rubin, he
Yep.
kind of got pushed out of the industry
He
too
did.
because everybody associated him, masturbating as him being a pedophile, in which he
Yep.
wasn't at all. He
Nope.
had
He was
not.
not.
There wasn't even any inkling of that
No.
ever in his career.
No.
Now he was a closeted gay man his whole life, but other than that, and I don't even think he was that closeted really. I mean, he could be in the closet all he wants, but I think it was pretty common knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah. After a while, definitely. If you haven't seen that, I Am Pee Wee Herman documentary on HBO Max, please go watch it.
Oh,
It's
that's a
very good.
beautiful documentary.
It's very
Beautiful
good. Very well done.
documentary.
Yeah.
I have always appreciated what his comedy was. I really appreciate those kind of comedians like him. I
Hmm.
know that's nothing to do with what the King of the Hill, but
It's okay.
or Jonathan Joss, but I really appreciate comedians like him. Uh, in memoriam, since we're doing a memoriam thing,
Hmm.
comedians like him because it's like him. Uh, what's his name? Man on the
Andy
Moon.
Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman. It's
Hmm.
like that style of comedy, and I really appreciate that style of comedy a
It's a brand
lot.
new style when they
I
started
love
it.
it.
It was
Yeah,
a brand new style of comedy.
and his whole stand up was the fact that he was playing a guy who sucked at stand up.
Yeah.
That's what that's
Yeah.
that's
That's right.
so genius because you
So
could
good.
stand up there and bomb, but
Hmm.
that's the point.
Hmm.
That's the whole, like, you've got to be so funny that it transcends like what traditional stand-up comedy is. Traditional stand-up comedy is standing there and having a good set, and his whole goal was to stand up there
And
and
have a
have
bad set.
he was being a guy who wanted to
That's
have a
right.
good set, pretending to play a guy having a bad set, and it ended up being like revolutionary. And we know that that ended up being Pee Wee Herman and that whole TV show and all that
Two of
stuff.
my favorites, Pee Wee Herman and Andy Kaufman. All right, second part of the show. I'm going to parents.com. I know it's a weird one,
It's a
but
weird one.
this is an article about Lauren Tom. It says the actress behind iconic moms on King of the Hill and Futurama reveals
Okay.
how her grandmother inspired her. Now, Lauren Tom was she was one of the ones on the panel that we went to see in Austin, and she was the most excited person there to be part of another season of King of the Hill. It was so
Yeah,
very
that was
endearing.
there for sure. And
Yeah.
I thought it was cute how they talked about Pat Najimy and how that she was anytime she saw any inkling of anything about King of the Hill throughout the years, she would always send it to everybody like, "Are we coming back?
Yep.
Are we coming back? Are we coming back?"
Yep.
Which I love that enthusiasm because that shows that show was more than just regular TV, and that's what I felt from them on the stage. To be honest with you, is like it feels like it's more than just a regular thrown together show. Like everybody seems emotionally tied to it in a way that because you got to think about it. 13 years they did it for, and there's been
Yeah.
this huge gap of time, and for some of them, that's some of the most popular. I don't know Lauren Tom for
Hmm.
anything other than Futurama and that. I don't know anything
Yeah.
she's done other than that. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and then Kathy Najimy, if I wouldn't have known that, if I wouldn't have known what she looked like just based on her name, I wouldn't think nothing about, if I
Sure.
wouldn't know anything about her you would just think Kathy Najimy King of the Hill because she's on every
Yeah.
episode, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It was that was a fun time. But it
Yeah,
says
it
that
was.
she was, if you might know her from the Disney Channel show Andy Mack. I don't even remember that show, or the movie Joy Luck Club. I didn't realize she was in that. So that goes to your point. But she played both Connie and Min
Yeah, she did
on
both
King
of
of the
them.
Hill. She says that the new season is exploring Connie's rebellious phase. Connie's parents keep a notoriously strict leash on her. A central part of the plot line of the show is their disapproval of her relationship with Bobby. But in the reboot, Connie is off to college and exploring her more rebellious side. In one notable episode from earlier this summer, Connie tells Bobby that she's practicing what she calls ethical non-monogamy. I absolutely was overjoyed to see that Connie had stepped into being able to find her voice more and be able to just speak up to her mom. She said she tapped into her own background to highlight cultural nuances in the characters' relationships. Part of Connie's character growth stems from the fact that over the years, Tom has created a complex mother daughter relationship between Connie and Min, one that's partially based on her life. Let's say that I had tiger parents, and there's good and bad in that, says Tom, who is Chinese. A lot of
Mhm.
times, immigrants will have very, very high expectations for their children, which actually can turn out to be good because it pushes them to strive to meet their parents' expectations. Now, some viewers may not necessarily understand some of the cultural nuances behind Connie's parents' belief that her daughter can do better than she's supposedly low achieving Bobby Hill. But the challenges of maintaining a healthy relationship with a mother who has a demanding and harsh, who has been demanding and harsh in the past, well, that's relatable to many, many people. She says, I think it's just a matter of finding a happy medium. Tom says a parenting in men's style, which the show makes clear is based on love, but still holds Connie to a high level. They certainly did that. You're going to push your child away by giving them the message they're not loved unconditionally and that they're only loved if they perform a certain way. It's dramatic that Tom herself is familiar. It's a dynamic that Tom herself is familiar with and one she drew on to create the characters of Connie and Min. I think that's a really cool. Now it's a long article. If you want to go over to parents.com and search for Lauren Tom, you'll find that article.
Yeah.
It's a good, it's a nice, what it felt like to me is an article you read on a plane, you know, like in
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
those magazines. But it is parents.com, so it's very easy to read. But it's cool to see. I don't know that I've ever seen an article on that woman. And to be honest with you, I did not recognize her when she came out on stage. I just know her by the
yeah. I
voices,
didn't at
you
all.
know?
Yeah, I just know her by her voices. That's probably the first time that I've actually
Yeah.
seen her face. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love seeing this background on these characters. I would love to see more on Toby Huss and how he grew up and where he came from and things like that, because I know that dude has been involved in a lot of stuff.
I'm trying to get into his ear on social media.
Oh my God, you get Toby Huss on here,
I've
I'll
been trying.
kiss your bare naked feet.
Yeah, please,
But
please, please don't. But I'm
okay,
trying. Yeah, yeah. You don't
just
have
an
to. You don't
offer,
have to.
Rusty, just
Yeah,
an
yeah,
offer.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
Um,
okay on that. Maybe
uh,
Artie. Maybe I'll let Artie kiss him.
sure. No, I think that I think we're only made better by knowing these people and how they came up and where they dig down deep to find these characters. You know, I don't necessarily want to know everybody in Hollywood's political beliefs, but I know they don't want to know mine either. So I'm okay with that. Let's just talk about how we grew up and how we're similar rather than how we're different. You know,
Yeah,
and
absolutely. That's what I want. That's what I would love to be able to do with
yeah,
some of these people is
yeah,
learn more about what makes them who they are. And I think that was what the unique thing about getting to talk to Jonathan Joss was we didn't get we were in a very relaxed. I have to say I was the appearance. I had smoked a 5 gram joint right
sure,
before that, so the appearance. I appeared relaxed, but inside of my body, there was a little ball bearing about this big, just
yeah,
bouncing from the feet to the
yeah,
top of my head, and I was just so nervous. But that conversation with him and everything, you know, after the show and everything, and just during the show, during the actual interview, just getting to hear his perspective on things where he's not talking for television. Because if you look at his TV interviews, they're obviously a lot way different
sure,
than what we got. Like
sure,
a lot of his television interviews, he's not sipping a white claw and just smoked a bit of weed. You know,
right,
he's not as loose. He's there for a PR
hmm
reason, or
hmm
he's there for uh, other things. You know, there's other things that he was involved in throughout his years that
right,
there's footage of him online. You know, whatever causes he was attached to and things like that he was doing speaking events for. So, he's a dynamic human being, and like the guy.
Yeah, it was a shame, but we really enjoyed our time there. I want to say thank you to everybody that stuck it out here. You guys are the best as far as fans go. We could not do this without you guys, and
Yeah, we
we'd be
really
a little
appreciate you guys. And
we'd be a little crazy to do it without you. But
yeah, it would just be two dudes talking to each other through a camera. Well, right now, anyway, we're usually in
yes.
the same room, but
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, next week we'll start back up with season 8, episode 1. But I just want to say thank you to everybody, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And let's get the plane ready to land for season 15. Also,
and the plan that I have come up with for
yeah,
stickers is once you get that box of stickers or whatever it is, or however many
sent
you're
to Artie.
shipping to Artie,
Yeah,
I will make an announcement here on the
cool.
channel. I'll tell everybody. Artie will post on Facebook.
Yeah,
All you have to do is put a
reach out.
one, put like a 1 or whatever in the comments,
Yeah,
and then we'll reach out and get the addresses for each individual.
cool.
And then work that out, and then I'll try to dig up the ones. I still have the addresses. I just have to access them. If that Google, I don't know how Google Sheets still works, so hopefully it
Yeah.
captured those addresses still and hasn't timed
I'm
them
sure it
out
did.
or whatever.
I am working. This is just an aside. I'm working on a merch store for Rogue in general, so expect to see a couple of King of Bois type merchandise on there, because I will attack those first, and they will be like a drop ship type thing. So you'll be ordering through us, but somebody else will be making it, which I think is probably the best way to start this thing off.
Yeah,
But
drop shipping for
we'll
sure.
come up with a couple of things. I know that Rusty and I both wanted to get into shirts that kind of reference stuff that we said during the show, or different things. Like, we're not going to put out "That's My Purse" merchandise. We'll put out
No, we can't
something.
do anything like that. Yeah,
No,
we
we'll
got
put out something really, really niche,
just
and
different stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So I think that's it for us for Friday. Only one thing left to say there, Rusty.
Well, I think it would go great on a shirt, and I'm not sure what you would put on it to make it not offensive,
Yeah.
but I think it would be great with like a Native American headdress,
Uh-huh.
and it just says Wimitanye with the Native American headdress in the back, or the crane, or
the crane.
or a crane, and like a crane, and then like a feather or something,
Mm-hmm.
and then like Wimitanye somewhere on there with the
Mm-hmm.
crane from the. We'd have to find out exactly the Texas crane that is and get a good
True.
image of it or whatever.
True.
Find a usable image. But to tie it all in and wrap it all up, I think we need to get Wimitanye tattooed. I have talked to Scuba Belly about tattoos, and Scuba Belly said that he is willing and wants to participate. So
I'm willing to do it. That's fine.
I just gotta do the logistics with him and figure out what that's going to entail. So
just let him know we'll be filming it. So
yeah, he's cool with that. Yeah, he's cool with that.
Yeah.
So
I didn't think he's never been shy around a camera. So
no, not at all. He's hilarious. Like he's probably one of the funnier people in town. Like his humor is like what I like. I have
to tell you sometime when we're in the same room about when I saw him do stand up one time.
Oh,
it was
stand up.
Oh my God, it was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever seen in my life. But it was awesome. Fantastic. Yeah. It was supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we love you, and we'll see you next time.
Wimitanye
indeed. This has been a Rogue Media Network production.